Yes, 2-5 is here. Sports reports exhorted. Do me a favor before we get this thing started. Like, review, subscribe, share. Do all the free things. Do all the good things. Welcome back to the 2-5 Daily. You know, it's that time of year, y'all. Everybody's focused on NBA free agency. The Olympics are coming up in a few weeks. NFL training camps and preseason is going to be here before you know it. But you know your boy is waiting for that college football. So what I was thinking about is this is the first year of the 12-team playoff. And I know a lot of people out there they still have their reservations towards it. They don't think it's the right way to go. I'm one of them. I always thought that it should stop at 8, even though there are 135 teams. So as I always say, why are these teams FBS? Why are we pretending if they don't have a chance to win the national title? You know, you watch March Madness to watch teams like Drake, to watch Valparaiso and Bryce Drew upset Mississippi, to watch Gonzaga make it to the national title game. But in college football, for some reason, we don't care anything about Cinderella. We just want what we want. We want our brand names. Damn it. Give us Bama and Georgia. Give us Michigan and whoever, Ohio State. Give us a rematch for all we care. But I wanted to attack it in a different way today. Speaking of March Madness and that kind of vibe, would the playoff be exciting to you if there were bid thieves? So, like, you know, looking back at this college basketball season that we just finished, NC State, for example, was a team that was on the bubble, lost some games, fell off the bubble, beat North Carolina, Duke, and Virginia to win the ACC title. And then they made a Final Four run. We loved it. DJ Burns, DJ Horn. So in college football, for example, let me give you a scenario. So this year you have Arizona versus Kansas State. You have Baylor and Utah. These are matchups that were already scheduled. Now they just happen to be in the Big 12 together. Now, spoiler alert, Utah and Kansas State is my Big 12 championship game this year, right? So let's just say hypothetically, these games that I just talked about, not hypothetically, these games count as non-conference games, even though they fall in the same conference. Now, hypothetically, let's say that Arizona beats Kansas State. Let's say that Baylor beats Utah. We get to the end of the season, and these games decide who makes the Big 12 championship game on a tiebreaker, even though it's a non-conference game. We saw North Carolina and Wake Forest play each other in 2019 and 2021 out of conference, even though they're both in the ACC. UVA and NC State play this year out of conference, even though it's in the ACC. But what if UVA upsets North Carolina State and they lose out on the tiebreaker? So the ACC title game is, say, Florida State Clemson. Let's say the Big 12 championship game is Utah versus Colorado, for example. And in those scenarios, Colorado wins, Clemson wins. Now NC State sneaks into the playoff. K-State sneaks into the playoff. How would you feel about that? If we were sitting there on championship Saturday, knowing that these teams, if they win, a 9-3 Texas A&M gets to the SEC title game, upset Georgia, beats Georgia, gets in the playoff as the SEC champion, but then Clemson doesn't make it because that spot was reserved for them. But now that A&M won the SEC, you got to let them in. I think it would add a little bit of excitement, even though I know the pushback would be, I don't want to see a team with 3 losses with a chance to win the national title. Guess what? It's going to happen. One of these SEC or Big Ten teams is one of these years is going to come through with 2 or 3 losses and win this thing. Then what we going to do? We just going to watch some football and we going to keep arguing. But man, would it be fun.